In a high net worth divorce scenario, community property laws still exist in Texas, right? So they still apply. And so when we start dividing up a marital estate, sometimes if you think of the marital estate in terms of, everything puts in as a pie, sometimes you only have a pie this big. Sometimes you got a really big pie. But the rules for slicing the pie and dividing it between the spouses are the same. So the rules that apply to a small estate are the same rules that apply to a big estate. Where we really run into the problems is identifying all the assets that make up the big estate. The larger the estate, the greater the likelihood of numerous assets, lots of properties, lots of businesses, lots of financial accounts, so lots of bank accounts, lots of brokerage accounts, lots of retirement accounts, these other stocks over here, this crypto over there, these investments, these things that have numismatic value. There's lots of assets that could be divided. And then, when it comes to dividing assets, as lawyers, we don't have to divide each asset. We divide the estate. And so whenever possible, we like to put whole assets into one spouse's column or the other. So we don't have to divide each and every business. We don't have to divide each piece of real estate. If the spouses have 5 rent properties, maybe 4 of them go in one column and only 1 of them goes in the other, because there's other assets to go in that column, and so we can kind of even things out. And of course, ultimately, there could be a buyout or payments to the other spouse long after the divorce is over to help equalize the marital estate. Okay, so sometimes we start dividing the assets in a way that the only way that makes sense, and one spouse needs to still get paid to make sure that we have a nice even split of the estate, or at least a split that's agreeable between the parties.